All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another XTIVIA live session, MDM and Data Governance Summit 2018, presented by Jim Orrison. My name is Alex Killian, and I'm the video editor and digital media specialist here on XTIVIA's marketing team. Before we dive into our live session this morning, I want to tell you just a little bit about our company. Since 1992, XTIVIA has established a proven reputation as a company that delivers leading-edge IT solutions and technology support for our clients' specific requirements. Our service areas include mobile app development, BIDW, CRM, ERP, data management, web portal, digital experience design, and EIM Services and Solutions. XTIVIA's success stems from a demonstrated ability to deliver deep expertise via professional services, empowering our clients to leverage their chosen technology successfully, competitively, and profitably. And XTIVIA has offices in New York, New Jersey, Missouri, Texas, and Virginia. And today we will be hearing from Jim Orrison, the Director of EIM for XTIVIA. Jim has a passion for solving business problems first and foremost. For the last 25 years, his focus has been on understanding the underlying business problem, abstracting the issues and options, gaining consensus on solutions, and then delegating the execution to see teams celebrate the successes that can be achieved. Jim has solved countless unique problems that have helped improve organizational performance, customer satisfaction, and product quality. Jim, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Well, thank you, Alex. Good to join you.
So do you want to tell us a little bit about our EIM services?
Yes. One thing when I think about EIM services, which this is a part of XTIVIA that I'm a part of, is we're passionate about data. When you get down to it, it sounds a bit nerdy, but the heart of it, if you have good data, you know what it is, how it is, and how to consume it, things work fairly smoothly. Unfortunately, the reality to most corporations is not smooth. So therefore, the aspect of how do we help customers where they are and the assets that they have and where they want to be is what EIM, Enterprise Information Management, gets into. Therefore, the foundations of a lot of this gets down to data governance. We've been building systems since Ronald Reagan was president, and we're still using those systems, information systems, but people don't remember the data schemes, et cetera, behind them. But we help people bring up their data governance such that they are now enabled and empowered to sort of deal with the other initiatives they may have in their organization. One of the natural offshoots of governance is master data management. How do you actually bring data to one concentric place that you have the appropriate stewardship and management and disciplines and hygiene behind that information? As a lot of organizations will go to one master data management, MDM, they may have themselves a half dozen of them. It gets down to what's right with the customer. We work with that customer to be able to do that. The other type of things is really more about data in motion, whether I'm dealing with the API strategy and microservices, advanced processing, and business process for information. We help organizations figure out the strategies, select the tools, implement those tools, and more importantly, make sure that the IT organization can run on their own after we've helped and worked with them. And the last piece that we really do is around BI and data warehousing, which has been a main staple for this organization for 20 plus years, but it still is a strategy upon how to deliver and consume data and make decisions off of it. So the core of all of these things sewed together is make sure we're enabling people to be able to have an agile enterprise and not just basically so that they can respond to what they need to do in the marketplace.
All right, awesome. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the summit, and I've got some questions for you about it, Jim. First off, can you tell us about the upcoming MDM and Data Governance Summit in New York?
Yeah, I'd love to, because this is a very interesting and powerful show that is done once a year in New York City in November. It's the largest vendor agnostic event around MDM and data governance that's held nationally. It goes on for 2.5 days. It starts on a Sunday afternoon and goes through Tuesday. And the primary reason why I say the vendor agnostic is that you're not really focusing on the end tool that you're going to use. You're focusing on the strategy. And the strategy should align with your business strategy. So most people who attend this are actually more business leaders coupled in with their corresponding IT leadership. And I keep saying leadership because it typically is a higher level director through senior vice president in attendance. who comes to this, and what they are looking for is information about where they may be on their journey. I would say there's 3 levels of people who will come to this around the novice, the intermediate, and experienced. But most people are on the journey for digital transformation. That's a hot buzzword in the industry right now. But it's really to enable them to be able to be responsive in the digital marketplace. So their legacy systems are really, how you call it, nimble to help them be able to go to what they're doing. They're listening to vendors. They're listening to, quite honestly, their peers as to where they are on the journey and learn from people's already experiences.
All right, awesome. So it's not about sales, it's about joining together and really getting at the crux of the issues.
There definitely is a good number of vendors and hosts and such, but again, the emphasis to us, again, we're a consultancy. We're definitely asked, we've got an exhibit room, we can talk about people about our services, but we're in the conference rooms, they're wanting to hear about the customer problems and the customer solutions. And to me, that's the main reason why people are attending and why it's become such a good event as a gathering place for these type of leaders.
Awesome. That sounds great. So next up, who will be joining us at the event and what do we hope they will gain from it?
I like the way you phrase that. I feel like I'm joining them because it's a whole host. I mean, there's 170 corporations that are represented who are going to be having people in this in this gathering. At least that's what I've seen so far from the pre-registration list. But basically, again, think about those levels that I described through. You got the novices who they know they need to start their journey on data governance or master data management, and they have themselves a 101, 16-step data governance in a box session. I mean, it really is a primer set to where everyone goes. Heck, I've read the papers on this because it's helped me, even though I've been doing this for a dozen plus years, as to, okay, how do you make sure you take the right initial steps so that you get the long-term benefits? But then there's other things around the novices from around practical guides and other experiences. For that intermediate, you're basically going to be hearing much more around how to align your business strategy toward a solution, basically how companies have sort of struggled with the agile versus waterfall because people want to be agile, nimble, etc. But guess what? Balls get dropped when you're dealing with enterprise data. You can't drop a ball. So therefore, those are the type of balancing acts that people on their journey are interested in knowing. How did you solve this problem? Because I'm facing it now. And those who have been experienced and successful, there's definitely a lot of stuff around how do you distribute master data management globally? How do you basically handle a holistic view of healthcare? There's actually a separate subtrack in all this for people in marketing who want to be thinking about B2C and B2B. I mean, they've got 3 sessions on one day on one set domain, one on the other. So therefore, just the challenge of people going from being account-centric to customer-centric may sound trivial, but I've been with at least 3 organizations that something like a customer name is nothing more than an attribute on an insurance policy. Well, that's not really a way to be customer-centric when you treat the customer as an attribute. And that is one of the core elements of an advanced user saying, how do I make this transformation to be really responsive to what the executives are asking us to do?
Awesome. Yeah, that's very important.
As you tell, I have fun with this.
Yeah, that's good. So can you tell me about the data governance track and our sponsorship?
Yeah, I love to, because first off is that at XTIVIA, we've got capabilities and disciplines in data governance and master data management. So this is a natural event for us to go to. But part of the reason why we stepped up to be a track sponsor is that they really wanted to have someone with the depth and experience to help facilitate all of the presentations going on. Basically, is that we will be really handling a lot of the presentation components, making sure teams are being sort of introduced into, and more importantly, the attendees are getting what they want out of the event. Naturally, we get to do a case study presentation ourselves. We're going to actually do this case study with Hertz Corporation. It's a project that we've been involved with for a couple of years, but their data governance was some of the first steps that you had to take on their journey. And for those in attendance, they're going to be hearing about really how did they create an objective and a vision? How do they basically go forward? How they gain sponsorship, and not only just gain sponsorship, that sponsorship by the senior executives was an asset to get decisions done and take impediments out of the organization that honestly has always impacted the IT. But we also will talk about inflection points, in other words, curveballs that people throw in an organization when you say, we were on this major strategic initiative, but we really know what we do. And these are just day-in-the-life type of situations that major corporations that are well over $1 billion in revenue are going to run into here and there. And we're going to talk through lessons learned. But this is a co-presentation with Hertz. Their manager of data quality will be a co-presenter of this. And that's what to expect, I think, off of all of these presentations. It's not just listening to the vendors, but listening to the customers and what they really want to do. Now, one of the components that I think a lot of people may tack, the reason why we're passionate about this on the data governance track is because you can select tools. Tools are sort of maybe the third or fourth step you do, but you really got to buy into the culture change. That if you want different results, you got to do things differently. And to me, it's not just what XTIVIA is going to talk about with our own stuff. I'm interested to hear what my peers are saying in the market because honestly, we build off each other's experience. And to me, that's what I would hope anyone who would want to come to the MDM Data Governance Summit is for them to learn so too.
Awesome. And I know we've done some really incredible work for Hertz. If you want to read more about that, we've got this case study up on our website and the link will be in the description below. So definitely check that out. And anything else you want to add, Jim?
No, I definitely appreciate the opportunity for us to be able to talk through our EIM and more importantly, our summit, because just like the case study here, this is outside of even that domain. This is dealing with what we did with the MuleSoft API integration strategy, because to a company, they start off saying they wanted an ESB strategy, but once we rolled up our sleeves and understood where they're going, we changed course. And it was the right thing for them. And to me, that's the journey for most corporations and business leaders is you got to find the recipe that works for you. And, to me, I hope you find wherever your partners may be and how you sort of proceed with them, you find the information and guidance to help make you successful in your journey. Please, if you see us at New York, please let me know that you saw us on YouTube. And I look forward to be able to talk with you.
Definitely. Thank you all so much for joining us this morning. And if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to answer questions. And as always, this live session will be available on our YouTube channel as soon as we finish here. And they're happening every second and fourth Thursday of the month. So make sure you tune in for the next one and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our new resources. And Jim, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Alex. It's been a pleasure.
And have a great Thursday, everybody.
Bye now.